Hey everyone, welcome back into a video. Like I promised, I am reviewing Sonic Frontiers. I've put about 40 hours to complete the game at this point. So I basically 100% everything the game has to offer, and I have a lot to say. I've beaten the game on hard mode, as you all know, if you look at my preview video that I did when the game first came out. So without further ado, let's get away. And for those who are kind of worried about potential spoilers, don't worry. There's no spoilers here. So, without further ado, let's get into it. First off, we're going to start off with the cyberspace. So in general, what do I think of it? I like it. I like the cyberspace levels for the most part, but I do have my criticisms of it. For example, for whatever reason, because the level design can be questionable, especially when it comes to the infamous 1-2, that has been a hugely debated thing in the Sonic community, and for good reason, because, I gotta ask, Sonic Team, why the hell is it so hard to get an S rank in 1-2? I guess you could make the argument, that it could be tricky, throw people up, but here's the thing, though. For those who are kind of new to the series, they're gonna have a really frustrating time trying to get the top rank in 1-2, because it's so hard. It even took me, someone who's been playing Sonic games for so many years, I even struggle with it. So, and typically I'm pretty good with Sonic games, so even I struggle with it. So it's so confusing. Why is that a thing? Doesn't make any sense. If it was a late game thing, absolutely, I can totally understand that. But the second one, really? That made zero sense to me. It's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, holy hell. Another gripe I have with it is the only 4 biomes in the cyberspace levels, with Green Hill, Sky Sanctuary, Chemical Plant. 3 of them have been reused so many times. I mean, generations, forces. Just saying. I don't think Sky Sanctuary was, though. But I know Green Hill and Chemical were. I know that much. But anyway, in some city one, I think that one's brand new, because if that's the case, cool, we should have got more of that, but hey, one's better than nothing, right? But yeah, and here's the interesting, and I kind of get why, but here's the interesting part: the actual level layouts are actually not copy and paste. People were speculating online, before the game released. The level layout is different. For example, one of the Green Hill cyberspace levels was actually the level layout of Skywheel from Sonic Adventure 2, as an example. Another one would be where one of the Sky Sanctuary ones was a level design from Sonic Unleashed. I think it was the one where it was set in China or something like that. I believe that's what it was. I think it was called Shunin. I could be wrong about that, but that sounds about right. At least, that's what my memory is thinking, because I played Unleashed so many times, so I kind of would recognize it. But yeah. Otherwise, besides those 2 big criticisms that I just brought up, I enjoyed the cyberspace level Sonic Frontiers. Overall, I like it, but I do have my issues with them. That's all I'll say. But otherwise, I like them. So, let's get into the absolute meat and potatoes of this game, the open zone formula. So what do I think? I love it. I love the open zone formula. There are 5 huge islands to explore, defeat enemies, solve challenges, etc. I absolutely love the open zone formula, but I do still have some gripes here. First off, I have to address the elephant in the room. The absolutely horrible pop-in. Quite possibly the worst I've seen in a open world AAA game in a very long time. There's instances where objects are just appearing right in front of you, and you almost have no time to react. That's kind of how bad it can be. But here's the thing, though. I'm thinking that it's an engine thing, because this is Sonic Team's first attempt with the open zone / world formula, so I kind of get why. But at the same time, I really hope in the future they tweak the Hedgehog engine 2 to kind of where the pop-in isn't so egregious. because it's pretty bad, as you just saw. But yeah, another thing. But now let's get on to another positive. The new combat system. I think it's amazing. Like, it's so much fun to use when engaging enemies. The environments engaging enemies, whether it's, minor enemies or mini bosses or eventually the Titans as Supersonic. I love the new combat system. It is so engaging and so much fun, especially with the new skills you can unlock by upgrading your skill tree and all that. I love it. So, I don't really have anything negative to say about the combat system. I really don't. But, and I have to say, like, the visuals of the game are beautiful, especially in the lighting department. Like, the artists over at Sonic Team did a fantastic job, because the game visually looks gorgeous, really. I really think so, Now, is it like one of the best looking games out there? No. But if you're looking for just like a visually appealing Sonic game, I think you'll be satisfied here. I know people were kind of like conflicted about the whole realistic art style when the game was first shown off, but here's kind of the thing though. Realistic art styles aren't new to Sonic games. I mean, Sonic 06, that was like Uncanny Valley shit with that game. And that's kind of saying something, but and so well done to the artist here. I love it. Anyway, side note, the music in the game is absolutely incredible. As you can probably hear in the background, that's actually the first Titan battle with Supersonic. The reason I kind of use that one is because, that was officially released by Sega. That's why I didn't use any of the other ones, because people would probably consider that spoiler territory, and that would be going against kind of why the point of this review, since I said at the beginning it's, spoiler free, and I'm still sticking to that, because I don't think that's spoiler territory by using the first Titan music, because Sega officially released it. But if you think it's spoilery, that's on you, really. But because I don't think so, since Sega officially released it. But anyway, let's get back to the topic at hand. The upgrade system, it's interesting, and the grind isn't too outrageous, which is nice. But I have but here's another big gripe I have with it, because when you're training Kocos with the Hermit, as you can see in this footage right here, it is so painfully slow and tedious, and it's so annoying. Like, why did it have to be one at a time instead of how many levels we could upgrade at once? Like with the other Koko, for example, where you could just trade, essentially when you have a certain amount of power seeds for both attack and defense, you would go to the Elder, and he would just take all of them and give you, just give you the levels, just based on how many you have. So I definitely prefer that approach so much to the Hermit one, because it is so ridiculously painful slow. And should they do another game with the opposite formula and kind of do the same thing, hopefully it's not as tedious or painfully slow, because it is so annoying. It aggravated me. That was such a major gripe I have with the upgrade system. But besides that, it's not bad. It's really not bad in terms of the upgrading system. So all in all, I think they succeeded for the most part with the open soul formula, and I do want it to stick around. Now, let's get into the minigame. So Big's minigame, what do I think of it? I didn't think it would be fun as it actually is, surprisingly. It is definitely better than what it was in Adventure 1. A nice little detour from the two big focuses of Sonic Frontiers, so it was a nice little side game. Little side thing. And curiously, for those who are really interested in the lore, you can buy these egg memos from Big by trading your tokens or whatnot. So it kind of gives you further context into what's happening in the background of the story. So which is pretty interesting. Where Eggman would very small thing. It's pretty cool. If you're really interested in the lore, I would definitely try to, get to them. And their voice messages too, which is pretty cool. So I like that. And some of the items you can collect by fishing are pretty funny. Like where you remember the old item boxes back in the day? That's one. Remember the old springs? That's another one. You remember the goalposts? That's a pretty fun. And look at this, a freaking tire. That one made me giggle. That one was pretty funny. Well, so let's get so I guess let's get to final verdict time, huh? So, final verdict. So, how would I rate Sonic Frontiers? Well, after going over a lot of good and some minor gripe/bad, I'm gonna give Sonic Frontiers a 9 out of 10. If you're a Sonic fan like myself who grew up on the series, I highly recommend giving it a shot. They have absolutely nailed the execution of the original in most aspects, and it surprised me in a lot of ways. And what I mean by a lot of ways, I mean in a very positive way. I was not expecting to absolutely adore this game as much as I did. Because, like, from start to finish, I think it was a really fun blast, man. I really do. And now, I can confidently say it replaced Sonic Unleashed as my best 3D Sonic game that I absolutely love. I did not expect that. To have a 3D Sonic game actually surpass Unleashed for me. And that's saying a lot because I grew up on Unleashed a lot. Unleashed has a very special place in my heart, and it's nice to know that there's finally a game that can surpass it because I really love Frontiers so much. And I hope they stick with the formula because it has such a strong foundation for the future of this franchise. And I can say confidently after such a very long time, I'm so on board with the future of 3D Sonic games, and I'm so happy for it. Yeah, absolutely pick this up when you got the chance. I think you'll have a good time. Well, that's all I gotta say without getting into story territory, as I think it's too early as the game just released, within last week. So, hope you all enjoyed this review. So, if you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, comment down below what you think. And what did you think of Sonic Frontiers if you have played it? And consider hitting that subscribe button so you do not miss any more videos. And I will see all of you in the next video. Until then, have a great one.